You wrote, I've come to realize the more glitz you rely on for identity, the more unidentified one remains.
Right.
And it took me a while, and the lesson was really pricey.
Yeah, that's actually, that's from us first arriving in Los Angeles and how Dad always preferred a home that was just that, a home, right? And there's actually a word that I invented for that line, which is doubloonary. The more glitz and doubloonary one relies upon for their identity, the more unidentified one remains, yeah.
So what's the lesson that you've learned?
Oh, that exactly what I wrote, that you don't need all that. You know, it's not, it can't, your identity, your core self, whatever you think you stand for, should not be, at least for me, linked to you know, all things materialistic. You just never really get in touch with the stuff that really matters, you know?
Obviously, for a while you were living as large as, you know, one could live, and then the past number of years since you've been sober, from what I understand, you've scaled back a lot.
Sure, yeah, I'm kind of doing it in reverse.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you live in apartments or townhouses or thing, or, you know, places that
Right.
they're a lot more modest, and then you strike gold, and you start living in mansions. I did the mansions thing early, and then now I'm back at it's totally flipped, and it's fine. It's kind of refreshing.
What was that like for you?
Yeah,
scaling
no, it was
back.
good because you can only fit so much of your stuff into a much smaller place. How many things that we use daily do we really need more than one of? How many cars can you drive at the same time? How many watches can you wear? I say in the book, these days, you know, I wear a Timex and drive a Cadillac, and I write that proudly. You know, I had one of the nicest, you know, vintage watch collections probably in the country at the time, and was late to everything. Sometimes not by hours, by days, you know?
Was there a time in the past number of years where you were kind of feeling the pain the most financially?
Yes and no, because I would usually take a step back, and it was like, all right, let's just let's get out of the want. This is what I want, and then let's just settle into this is what I need. And it's not an impossible adjustment, but it's not always the smoothest one either, because it comes with entitlement. Well, I'm so used to having this thing and having it that way. Why isn't it still like that? Well, there's all these things that I played a role in, that whatever, you know, but my buddy, Eddie Braun, you know, we were driving somewhere, and I was like, damn, Ed, I f***ed it all up, man. I gave it all away. I f***ing burned it all to the ground, and Jesus, now what? And he was like, well, now what is that you're alive, he says, and his fear was that the lifestyle at that level, at that pace, you know, just, he was fearful that if it kept going on that same trajectory, that somebody would have died. Not somebody didn't even have to be me. At some point, there's something has to give. So I kind of look at it as, you know, I don't know what's supposed to happen or what was meant to be, or, you know, where we are on like, you know, people talk about their journey, and how do you fucking know where you are on your journey? That would imply that you know exactly how long your journey is. My life is really full and blessed and still exciting as hell and very rewarding, you know, and it doesn't rely on glitz and doubloonary.